It's a medium, not a genre. It's not part-time, it's a lifetime. So, I've established myself to have a bit of an appreciation for the art form that is animation. Along with that, I've also pointed out how I also have a bit of a heart for gaming. Now, there's something which I haven't gone into really on this channel yet. It's my affiliation with art, the art of music. And, yeah, that's no exaggeration. I love music. It's something which I pretty much always have on if I'm able to. And it just really controls me sometimes. It makes me do things which nothing else will make me do, and that includes the topic of this video, where I will be taking 5 artists, 5 relatively well-established music artists, and I'm going to be turning them into like cartoon character versions of themselves. And I think it's going to be a pretty interesting result. And I think you're gonna enjoy it. And we'll get to the first one real soon. So the first person I chose to do was 21 Savage. He is arguably the most popular artist I have chosen to draw. And I was really going back and forth on how to go through with this drawing. So one idea already came into my mind. Maybe it's from the Metro Boomin album, but I thought of him being some sort of superhero, sort of in the vein of not what you wouldn't exactly call him a good guy, but not exactly a bad guy either. And so I was thinking sort of Batman-ish because of the world Batman's associated with Gotham City's somewhat grittiness, and 21 Savage's music can be pretty gritty often. And then I was thinking it can't be like that. Simply I have to think of another spin on it. Then I looked up some information on 21 Savage, and it turns out that he had an interest in flying planes, so I decided to go with an aerial aesthetic to it, and made him a bird character. I can imagine the cartoon being in a world maybe a large majority being bird characters, with there's more the non-bird characters have more significance, and 21 Savage would be this one hero which people don't know what to make of. People don't know how to feel about him, and I came up with this. I just associated his colors with green. I thought of different ways how to also make it feel piloty, like a plane pilot. So I came up with the goggles. The hand stuff was I questioned that a bit. It could look a little weird, but it is a bit stylized too. I came up with some lighting for it, and then there's also the yellow eyes. I think they look more intimidating, and I can imagine this guy just using strength, mainly a strength person, very Batman-y, maybe a grappling hook, and maybe some projectiles, not a gun per se, but something so he doesn't always have to attack from close range. And I think what I came up with was pretty interesting, and yeah, I'm pretty happy with it. I'm glad. I like how the color scheme worked out with utilizing analogous colors. So So this is the 21 Savage I came up with, and let's go and see what I have next. So as the second music artist that I'm going to be turning into a cartoon character, I chose Shy Girl. And with her, I had like an idea for her for a bit, where her music is kind of ethereal. It's kind of like as if she's some sort of goddess. And that's the intentional framing of some of her songs. And so that made me think of course I should make her like some sort of like special being, some sort of thing which is like more than just human. And so I was actually inspired by Steven Universe for this, with how with all of its like magical whole characters who are both like really strong and also look very pretty and appealing. Like once again, Shy Girl is presented as. So I decided to make her not exactly copy exactly the style of Steven Universe, but make it look more stand out more with lighter outlines. And I also came up with an idea make her mainly consist of blues and yellows, and I mean not really barely any yellows, maybe even no yellows even, just mainly different shades of blue, mainly going for a monochromatic detail with it. And when looking up some information on her I'd used for this, I learned that she was big on studying when she was in schools and stuff, and so she would read a lot for these classes, and so I decided to make her role as a librarian, and a librarian at one point fighting evil guys at another one. Maybe not even fighting evil guys, just trying to guide people, some sort of guide. He had how a lot of cartoons action cartoons would have mentor characters, and she might be the one for this cartoon that she would be in. So this is what I came up with, and the book is of course the thing which is library related. And next up we're going to be on number 3. So for my third choice, I chose the Kid Leroy. Another idea which I had for him, which I think this is one of my favorite ones when it comes to the execution, where I was gonna have him, since he makes a lot of love songs about trying to about just wanting to be in this relationship, but sometimes they go bad, sometimes he wants them to be better, and so that sounds like it could lead that sounds like it would be music made by a pretty wholesome person. So I drew him as this innocent looking, even a child, again in this sort of old fashioned outfit. I even gave him a bucket on his head, something that childish innocence. I thought it was a pretty interesting way to handle him. I used a lot of not very saturated colors, and I also came up with like using like simpler like dotted eyes and simpler face for it, along with a rounded like a more round face structure than like the other characters I chose to do, and I like the way this one went out. I also like how I handled the shading for it, with like all the warm colors and stuff. I mostly this is one of my favorite ones I've done, and I like how I made his hair look all curly like that. Looks really good to me. So after that, we're gonna be on number 4. So for the first music artist, I'm choosing one of my favorite music artists currently, and it's Banks. Yeah, I just love the aesthetic she associates herself with. I love her voice, her production. She handles familiar subject matter in a pretty unique way. So anyway, considering how like often like it's somewhat, it feels sort of sophisticated, but also kind of like loose with the type of music she can make, and so I decided to make her like this queen in this factions cartoon. It's like the exact opposite of what I'm doing, like the Kid Leroy one, where his is just all simple about this little guy who just wants to impress people and impress the world. And well, this is about like different factions which have disagreements, like people on both sides just having like different things to different reasons in order to like dislike or like each other. And like one of the factions, Banks' character is a queen, and she would be like, she would be like, it would be like an antagonist role rather than a villain role, and she would just have like understandable reasons for like why she would do some somewhat corrupt things. And like throughout the series, we will learn more about her backstory and stuff, and it'll be pretty cool. So this like design I came up with, I made it sort of snake-like. I guess as a reference to her album Serpentina, but also I thought it just fit along with the color scheme, and this is what I came up with. I question if it looks a little flat, but looking at it again, I think it's fine. And this is what I did for number 4, and next is number 5. For number 5, I did Casey. So for one thing I forgot to mention is that when it comes to these like music artists, cartoon character iterations, I try and do it with like people who don't have like that big of an already established like other persona, like a more fictional persona which resembles someone or something which you wouldn't see in non-fiction. And Casey's design is probably the closest to doing that, which I didn't really want to happen, but I think he made it work. In case you're wondering, my design kind of resembles like I think it was like one of his songs with like a software sign. He has this like gold variant of himself, and it looks pretty similar to like the design I came up with, but I actually think it's different enough, and it does fit. And so the idea I came up with for the cartoon that he would be in this, I'd off like a Ben 10-esque series, specifically Alien Force, and with it like being a little drama related, having a little bit of teenage like issues, like just understanding, just dealing with bad guys, along with also just understanding, learning more about himself. And this would be like, this character reminds me of Bright Star, or Daybreaker, or Daystar. The guy with blonde hair who was introduced like earlier on as a villain, like a life-stealing vampire. And but this one's like all gold-like. It shoots like light, golden powers. It is pretty similar to him, but yeah, I feel like it has a good enough change, like make it feel different, like the attire and what they did with the hair. I like this one a lot. I like how he handled the like glowing lights, and I think the like pose I did for him is pretty cool. And I think this is one of my favorite ones I've done. So yeah, so that's it for number 5. So this was a fun experiment. I wouldn't be surprised if I come back to this another time. It's pretty creative and helps me get my creative juices flowing. And I hope you guys like it too. Maybe you can even request some of the guys and girls and thems, which I'm gonna go and do next time. If there is a next time. There definitely probably is. So hope you enjoyed, and you'll see this artist later. I don't need the stars, the moon, the world, if you bring me the sun, yeah. I can be the spark, the start of something that you really want. I ain't hesitate, I see further than you really thought. And she don't need no space for me, she'd rather be where I'm at.